Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky.
Hey!
I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky. I hope you are too. I'm fessing up this morning.
And I'm almost out of the screen.
I'm sorry. Scoot on over here, Jason. Get on in.
You don't move laterally.
I don't move laterally. That is a secret. It's not even a secret. It's just the truth. Okay, here's the thing. Have you ever been sitting in church and you literally sit there and go, the preacher's talking to me?
So some people have never been sitting in church.
Okay, well,
but
you're just blowing my
but we can relate to that too
this morning. You're blowing my poop.
So we can relate to that too, though.
Okay, all I have to say is good morning, Sheila. That's what I have to say. I was in church yesterday, and Pastor Craig Rochelle, I think he's awesome. He's from Life Church. He was talking about community. He was saying that people these days are texting more often, which we all know this, right? People text instead of picking up the phone and calling. We shop online instead of hopping in our cars and going to the store. We just get online and we do Amazon Prime, or we have our groceries delivered, right?
Yep.
And when was the last time you went to actually visit a friend?
Oh, at their house?
Yes. In fact, if a friend came over to my house to visit me unannounced, I would literally think that was kind of weird.
How often do you actually even... A lot of people don't even get up when the doorbell rings.
No. In fact, when our doorbell rings, we sit there and we have a moment of, who could it be?
Is it a solicitor? Is it the Amazon guy? Is it the UPS guy? Is it somebody delivering something?
Why is our doorbell ringing?
Is it the yard guy dropping off that... The note that says the yard's too wet and the yard's too dry at the same time?
Sheila, it may just be you and us this morning, but I don't know if you've ever had this. Literally, he was talking about these things and I thought, oh my gosh, he's talking to me. And then he says, and have you ever had that moment where you should get up and go to church, but you think, oh, you know what? I've had a tough week. I haven't been feeling well. I'm just going to watch it online. And I was sitting on my couch
watching on the television.
Jason had gotten up and he actually went to church. I was like, I'm just going to watch online this morning.
It's been a tough week.
It has. I've been feeling ill since Christmas.
Well, people are opting to do the same for work.
I have this cough. Exactly. We've been overseas. And in fact, on Saturday, we had this NSA meeting and they give you the option of doing it hybrid. It's over in Tampa, which is an hour and 20 minutes away.
Almost a 2-hour drive.
And I thought, you know what? It's so much easier to just zoom in. It's so much easier.
And it's a whole Saturday. So it's be there at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Come back at noon or leave there at noon for a 1:30 start time to go to 5:30 here.
So I don't know if
Zoom.
It's laziness or what.
Or efficiency.
But it has just been easier for me to become the virtual girl.
Or do we give ourselves the excuse? Because there are some things that we give ourselves the excuse for, and we separate ourselves from community.
And then we get in the habit. And I will say, good morning, everybody. I see that you're joining us. I don't know if our computer was just late having everybody Rita. Say hello. Julien, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. So good to see you guys. I will say that we went on this distribution in Nicaragua, and we were on this bus with extraordinary people. But I will say, at the end of the day, at the end of a bus ride when you've been with people for
15 hours.
however many hours, and we get off the bus and somebody says, hey, you know what? Let's all go get ice cream. I am like, we've been on a bus all day together. I just want to go have my alone time. Right? Like, I'm done. I'm done being social.
I need some reflection time. I need some space and
I
some
need
peace
me.
and some, yeah.
And even though
quiet.
I try to be myself when I'm around everybody, I really try to be my authentic self. I try to be as real as I possibly can. I try to let down my guard. I try to let people in, and I try to have intimate conversations. I really try to have intimacy when it comes to my relationships. There's still that moment when we went into our hotel room where I was like, I can be me. Is that interesting?
So was it just you can be you, or it can just
I can just
you can be
let it down.
You can let
I
go.
can let my hair down.
You can stop.
I can let my hair down. There's just like that one layer of, whew, I can just let it down.
See, for me, it's just a stop sharing. Like it's not a, I can be me or I can change anything. It's just, I can flip it off. Like it's not a turn. Or it feels weird saying flip it off or turn it on, but it's a,
I can just be silent.
I can rest.
I can just be, because
And
when we're together,
I literally just stop thinking.
Yeah,
I just turn it off. I reflect and I just kind of sit in it.
like sometimes when Jason and I are together, we literally are both in our own little worlds, which is totally fine with both of us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you are cool
Being
with that,
in
right?
our own worlds together.
I just assume you're cool with that. I'm cool
A
with
lot
it.
of my world overlaps your world, and so I feel like I'm still with you.
Okay, so my whole point today is that we are getting in the habit of distancing ourselves from community.
That happened. So, and that leads to depression. So that happened a lot for me when we were sliding into depression. And when things go wrong, it's almost like when something bad happens, or when you feel like you've failed, or you feel like anything wrong has happened, you're like, I just want to be alone.
Right.
And then you seclude yourself, or you separate yourself, like you go to your bathroom, you go wherever you go to be alone.
Right.
Because you don't want someone seeing you in your misery or your upsetness.
Right, because you don't want to bring everybody else down.
But the thing is, when you're a baby, when you're a child, you're like, I feel hurt. I feel like something bad has happened. I want to be held.
Right.
But then
it's like we purposely cut ourselves off, but then we're like, I don't have any friends. I need love. Why doesn't anybody love me?
I think someone tells you, big boys don't cry, big boys don't get upset, big boys move on, or whatever it happens. So then you start saying, I can't show my emotions, I can't show my feelings. And then you start cutting off. And then also you think the world expects you to be a certain way. So like when we were going through our really dark time, and I would go to work every single day. I don't think I missed a single day.
No, you never did.
All that time.
Never missed work.
And every day I would go through the days I had to see, every day I saw clients, but the days I had to be at the office, people would be like, hey, Shelfer, how are you? And I'd be like, oh, it's great. I'm fantastic. I'm fine.
You were putting on a facade.
Just so fake.
You were so putting on a facade.
And in that moment, I was like, I'm going to be fine and be strong for everybody. And I was melted inside.
So how many people are walking through life doing that? Because one thing that I like to do is when I say, how are you doing today? And people are like, oh, I'm fine. I'm great. I like to say, well, how are you really?
And that gets uncomfortable sometimes.
It catches them off guard. They're like, I just said I was fine. Like, do you not believe me?
Well, some people want to know, do you have time for the real answer?
That is true. That is true. I just know that we get in this habit of cutting ourselves off from people. And then when we do need a friend or we do need community, it feels like, oh my gosh, I don't have a tribe. I don't have anywhere to turn.
And then when you get your tribe, then you've built up this mountain. It's almost like a built up of dominoes of despair. And you vomit that dominoes of despair on your new friend. And then they don't want to be your friend anymore. Because they're like, that person is toxic. I can't be around them because it's only negative.
Right? You don't want to be that person either.
Right. So
it's give and take. So what Pastor Craig was saying yesterday is that we should literally be around community every single day.
To make it part of your priority system and part of your lifestyle. Like when I found Iron Man of God, when I found that group on accident, like I kind of just landed in there.
Right.
And realized there was a group of men that are trying to be better husbands, better employees, living life better, just better people in general. And that everyone has problems and that everyone has successful ways of dealing with things. I was like, crap, I'm not on an island by myself.
Because when you're sharing every single day, then some days you're the strong person that's helping other people, and some days you're the one that's dumping. You're the dumping person, and they're the ones helping you.
It's an ebb and flow.
It is a give and take, which is what a friendship is supposed to be. A friendship is supposed to be a give and take.
And that's community, and we're all one. And just like in the Bible in Solomon, it says nothing's new under the sun. So we're not going through anything new. No one's going through anything new. And when we think that we're the only ones having a problem,
right,
that is isolation, and that's kind of, swimming out to Effet Island, and that's where you drown yourself.
Okay, so Kimberly says, I don't like the how are you question because it can be hard to know whether people want to actually know or if this is just a small talk. If this is just a surface little like, okay, you know. Yeah. Because I've had that too, where people will say, how are you? And I'll say, and then I start getting into it and I can already see that, you know what, they've already started to look away.
They're to the next person. And I would say 95, 90, maybe 99% of the time, that's where it is. Because most people want to live on the surface because it's comfortable on the surface. Think about, when you look at a lake or look at a swimming pool, leaves rest on the surface, bugs float on the surface because surface tension is easy. It's light. People don't want to get underneath the water. People don't want to get in the uncomfortable area. And that's really where the growth is, and that's where the life juices are.
Christine says so many interactions are phony. It's hard to find true individuals. That is so true.
And Christine has so many. I see her post, and we communicate a lot. She has so many great neighbors and a great community around her, and she invests time and has experiences with them. They have like block parties in her neighborhood.
I see your true colors. Sing that one.
See your true colors.
Shining
and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid
to let them show your true colors.
Are beautiful.
Do you know that I saw Cyndi Lauper like 14 times in a decade?
I believe that.
I was on a Cyndi Lauper tour myself. And then I also wanted to add that Brenda says everyone, even strong people, need space for themselves.
Amen.
And that is such a good point as well, that it's okay to say, you know what? I just need a little time for me.
Yeah. And I'm one of the favorite verses from songs of all time for me lately has been, I may not face Goliath, but I've got my own giants.
Right.
And it almost brings me to tears every single time because I am super strong. I've invested a ton of money and time, both of us have, into personal development and handling issues and the best way to navigate life. And we have a great path and have had tremendous success in helping others. But there's always something that you're working on. There's always something that's back there that you're still working on. That's why we have coaches. So
Well, it's a
we
never
always
ending
need, yes,
process.
it's never ending process, self-development and growth. So we all have things and we all need someone that's helping us get through those things. So I think it's always help
It's the
someone,
give and take.
get someone to help you, get someone to help, be growing on the way, and just find a way to be excited and happy about life and have someone that you can share all your experiences with.
On that note, I'm gonna shut this down. Sing it for us.
I'm gonna shut this down,
No,
and that's why I love you.
No,
so don't be afraid
oh my gosh.
to get community and show true colors.
You won't even let me talk. I said sock. You won't even let me sock. Put a sock in it. I was gonna say the Goliath verse. We're out. Bye, guys.
Love you
Community.
guys. Keep living lucky.
We love this community. Bye-bye.
If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.